Welcome to the Young Man with Reams. We share the journey of a young man and the simple story. Welcome aboard.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Lorenzo, a young man, welcome. Thank you for being on the show, Lorenzo.
You're welcome, Rains.
Yeah,
I'm honored to be here.
yeah. I see you like an elder brother because you remember when we met back in the day in UNN. I think that's where I think I came around UNN, so I saw you host events, and then I told myself like, I love what you do, right? It's something I know I can do. Then I went back to school. I started doing moderation in church, and from there we did events in school. From there, started learning. Anyway, it's not about me; it's about you today. But the point is, um, I saw how we come to national programs and the acceptance. You didn't even care because you were a big deal. I mean, for me, you were a big deal. you, you didn't
Oh
care.
well.
Yeah, you are. So you didn't care about, I mean, your status at the time. You always carry me along. You'd be like, "Oh, gee, what's up? How you doing? You okay? All right, now come now." Then and at some point you disappeared. So so let's just go back a little bit. Look, when do you know that okay, this is what you want to do? Because you started off from radio and then emceeing events and all the things that you do or you did or you're still doing that we're going to discuss about. I just wanted to throw you back a little bit from the school environment and then we'll talk it up.
Would you prefer it started from the school environment or before then? Because I mean, it all started long before school.
Yeah, please go ahead. Share.
Okay, so at 9 years old, I had become a child preacher.
Okay.
So my mother was taking me everywhere. My church had Divine Grace Liberation Assembly had a very vibrant children department, and
Mhm.
I preached a lot, some Sundays, and then especially at what's it called, Children's Day
Mhm.
services,
Mhm.
and then I joined this at that age. I think earlier, like 2 years before then, I joined a group called the Children Evangelism Ministry.
Hmm.
That was I don't know who founded it. I can't even remember, but it was run by so two men that I know, Professor Paul Bayeri at the University of Nigeria and
Hmm.
Mr. Francis Bassi. His the Francis Bassi, but then he was just Uncle Bassi. So Dr. Bassi and uh, particularly Dr. Bassi, who I always give credit for mentorship when it comes to being a public speaker, a creative in every way, because he always pushed me to the front.
Hmm.
So he no, but then it was too I was too young to understand what he was doing at that time. So yeah, whenever there's this nursery school called Total Child Nursery School,
Yeah.
when they're having their graduation ceremonies, he would invite me to preach. Like he was crazy. I mean, so but then every child, it was exciting to see, oh wow, this guy is like 10 and is here to preach. And
Hmm.
and then my mom would prepare my sermon. And there's
Oh,
this
bless her.
uh children evangelism ministry that they had their talent search every year. And it happened at the General Studies building, and it was a big deal. And I'll still be in front of children and professors' children and professors themselves that came with their children, and I am preaching about certain things: obedience, honor,
Mhm.
you know typical things that children should would be should be talked to about.
Mhm.
And that was it. So then I found myself talking, and there's this time you get to a point in your life you're not able to do the same thing with the same energy, because
True.
I, when I got into secondary school, I'd started becoming a teenager. I
Yeah.
was no longer a child, so I was becoming too big for the children class,
All
and
right.
then too small for the adult church.
Mhm.
So I found myself nowhere.
Mm.
So that was when I kind of started doing music. I started playing drums in church and then started singing. So I lost that
Oh,
speaking
really?
part.
I never knew you played played drums. I played drums at the time. I never knew you
Oh
played
wow.
drums.
I think we
I
have a
knew
lot
that
of
you
things. We have a
sang.
lot of things in common.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So yeah, so I played drums, sang in church, but um getting to that point where I had the need to define where I was going. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't sure I still wanted to be a preacher. I knew I loved to talk, but I
Mm.
wasn't sure I wanted to be a preacher. So I found myself always trying to mimic. I get my newspaper and I read my newspapers, my dad's newspapers, as though I'm reading the news instead of just reading it. And I mean, not reading it out, but I will always read it out
Yeah.
and enjoy myself. So it felt good. I kept doing it over time. You know, Before I knew it, at the age of somewhere around 17, 18,
Mm.
I'd already started being interested in doing radio. And
Yeah.
at the same time, I wanted to be an actor. I just wanted to speak. I knew that it felt like I could speak. So, I mean, why keep it to yourself? You should,
True.
speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't fit into church anymore because, I mean, when you're at that age, there was nowhere I could fit in except maybe, and the process that I grew up in didn't really have that opportunity for young people, for youth rather, but they
Mm-hmm.
had it for, I mean, when I mean youth, I mean teenagers. We had
Teenagers.
it
Yeah.
for the children, but the youth class was really not so good.
Yeah.
So almost non-existent. So I needed the opportunity to express myself. I didn't find it until one day I heard about, rather, there was this radio station in Enugu called Cosmo FM.
Yeah. I remember Cosmo FM. I visited
Good.
Cosmo FM.
Okay.
Mm.
So I went to Cosmo FM, and that was where I met my role model, my number one role model of all time. His name is Spaceman.
Yeah.
And
I remember that name. I think he had a show then. Yeah.
yes, of course, it was about the finest thing that happened to radio.
Mm.
I mean, I listened to him every other time. I wanted to listen to him more. He showed me, he brought a different vibe to what radio was in the
Yeah.
Southeast, and he did it. I mean, Cosmo generally brought that vibe, but
Yeah.
but
True. They
but
really revolutionized radio entertainment in the East. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, but Spaceman was everything. He was a corporate MC. He was the vibe king. He was the hype man. He was everything. So I just started following him. So when I went to him, he told me about the station that was being built in UNN, that I should go back and find a way to join them,
Yeah.
and I did.
Were
And
you a student at the time?
yeah, I had started schooling. Yes, I had started schooling. I was doing a diploma at the Department of Religion at the University of Nigeria then.
Okay.
You're now listening to the young man with dreams. Stay connected.
So yes, I joined Lion FM in 2006, becoming the
Mm.
very first voice heard on the radio. All
Mm.
before it evolved to become Lion FM, the founders were running something at the male hostel of the University of Nigeria. They called it Franco Radio.
Okay.
Where Franco Radio is like the name of the hostel area,
Mm.
and but it didn't have a license until the University of Nigeria, the vice chancellor, through the Department of Mass Communication, got a license, and then the
Mm.
station was built. Then they got to a different place, acquired equipment, and then it was time to test the microphone, and I was
Mm.
invited. I mean,
Oh.
they didn't sound like they cared about me being there, but they just needed someone to test the mic, and then they can
Mm.
kick off the guy later.
Yeah.
So I came in and I did it. He came into the studio and said, "Oh wow, you were good, but you were rapping. Take it easy. So we need to
Mm.
tame him. We need to tame him. We need to tame him." So, but then I mean, I did something, and I was excited. I did,
Yeah.
and the rest was history. I just continued. So, but then by the time it was, I think I knew it was now a serious thing. The very first show I hosted, I can't forget that show. A friend of mine came to the studio and told me that he wanted me to come and host his event. And uh, he said he called the show the Mimic.
The
The guy
mimic.
we called him, yes, the Mimic. It was a show where people were invited to mimic certain artists. So
Oh, okay.
and it was a beautiful show. And after that, I was worried, like, why would this guy want me to host a show? I haven't done this before.
Mm.
So, but then I was excited to know that he he saw something I didn't even see myself. And after doing that, people were laughing, and I'm like, okay, I mean, what am I saying that is different? What is happening here? So, but I just found out that there are some creeps, which I now call the legendary creeps, that that made people laugh, excited, even though I wasn't cracking a joke. But there was,
Mm-hmm.
the way it came out that made sense to them,
Yeah.
and they loved it. So
Mm.
yeah, and I started chasing it, and
Mm.
then one thing led from that to that to that. I found myself on the stage at the African Movie Academy Awards, hosting the biggest film show on the continent of Africa in
Mm-hmm.
2019, and since then it's been an upward ever. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my journey when it comes to talking.
Yeah. So it's I don't think it's your journey completely. Don't lie, you. So you come across to me like you've left doing active radio presenting.
Yes, yes, I still do radio
Mm.
because I produce jingles actively for
Mm.
businesses and people, and I
Yeah.
also produce. I produced one show for the BBC um, radio, and after doing, I presented that as well. After doing that show, I co-produced and presented. After that, I just knew that I had to find a show that I'm going to be doing by the side because I can't hate radio. I love radio with everything in me. So I just didn't want to leave radio.
Mm.
But right now, I'm not a radio.
Yeah. I know. So
I would, yeah, but I
that.
always call myself a
Yeah, of course. I mean, you is in you. It's like someone told David Letterman that he's half man, half table. So you're you're half
radio.
man, half microphone.
Yeah, so
So
I mean, I love it.
so looking back at what you've achieved, talking on radio, graduated to MCing actively, and a couple of other events that you've done. The trajectory for you. What would you say that was the remarkable um thing that stood out in moving from, like, okay, right now, let me rephrase this question. I'm trying to find a way to make you understand what I'm trying to say, right? So I met you when you were it was a wedding. I saw you. Remember Pastor Emeka's wedding? And I
Oh
think it was
yeah,
in
sure.
UNN. Yeah, so you MC'd and you sang. So that was the MC and the singer in you that I saw. Now you've graduated in hosting events, of course, on a more larger scale, and then production of movies, then acting. Now, because you know why I'm asking you this question is there are people that are watching that they don't know when to um, switch and focus on a particular skill set, right? So right now I think you're focusing on more on writing, producing, acting, while you've successfully built the radio presenting skill. So how were you able to know that, okay, this is what I'm doing now, and at this point I will transition to do maybe production, and I focus on it, I am not going back. Then later I'll transition to do. So I just want you to know, I just want you to just explain how it was for you. So for people that are like multi-talented like you to know how to go about it. Do you understand what I mean?
I do.
Mm,
There was something I read today,
okay.
where Chief Peter Doce was talking about the late,
Mm-hmm.
and where he said the boy was too talented, was good at everything, a lot of things, and it
Mm-hmm.
worried him because people that are like that, you know, always, either get confused or they get frustrated. Really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a lot of friends that are multi-talented. They have more talent than I even think I have,
True.
but they can't even afford to uh, eat, eat a 3 square meal right now, and that's
Mm.
because we because it almost happened to me. I mean, I have to be truthful. I became so depressed at some point because I had too many things. and it was as if I'm so good yet not so bad, so poor, not getting anything, you
True,
know.
true.
So, but then there's this laid back man that people think is complacency, but it's actually my um it's some sort of I won't call it overthinking, but it's critical thinking that is
Mm-hmm.
within I do whenever I want to do anything, whatever it
Mm.
is. It's not good all the time though, but I mean it has helped me.
Yeah.
I put it that way because I when I could do radio, I mean in the picture before
Mm-hmm.
radio came into the picture, I'd always wanted to do movies. I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
act. I've started writing as a child. I'm going to be a writer. I mean, I'm going to be a
Mm-hmm.
writer, script for film. I'm going to be an actor, a radio presenter. I'm going to be a show host. I'm going to be on TV doing hosting a TV. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
sing on stage. I'm going to preach. So all of these things, and I'm also going to draw paint because I mean I was actively like a visual artist. I was painting and drawing and creating during. I made money a lot during Christmas because I
Oh,
would make
really?
Christmas cards and
Mm.
sell and sell and sell. So but then I realized that I cannot be all of these things at once.
Mm.
I have to write these things out, all the things I want to do, the ones I think I can start doing now without the help of anybody,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll face it. Then I'll look at it and know if it's something I can face, and if it's going to help me in the long
Mm.
run. Then I'll make a
Mm-hmm.
list of the ones that are achievable with less effort and people and manpower, and that can lead me through, make me so I can survive on while I'm working on the other. That's how
Yeah.
radio came first because I had
Okay.
to leave. I had to drop everything. I'd registered with the Actors Guild of Nigeria as far back as 2003,
Okay.
and I didn't do any
Mm.
until just most recently. So I had to drop all of these things and faced radio. I
So
faced
radio
radio
at the
because
time,
it's
was
a
it paying
job.
your bills? Like, was it paying?
It
Like,
it,
was
it
it like an
wasn't.
active employment?
It was an active employment, but it wasn't paying the bills. I was earning 1,000 naira weekly,
Hmm.
and I was spending 200 naira daily on transportation. So it was as if I was just getting transportation fee for
Mm.
whatever. But then that was not what was giving me money. What gave me money more was like the gigs I got outside. People invited me to even church, and I got
Mm-hmm.
home. I got 5K for the visit. I got 6K sometimes to host events on campus. When people were earning 1K to be on, I was earning 6K because I was on radio. I think it
Mm-hmm.
was what brought in UNN then. What took me to that next level was when Style Plus came to UNN. Style Plus was
Yeah.
the biggest band
Yeah.
in all of
Yeah.
Africa then.
Mm-hmm.
So they were coming to UNN, and they were coming with about 11 artists that were
Mm-hmm.
going to be on stage. But then there was one guy that's going to be on stage that is not a big guy, and that was me. So everybody in school were wondering, why is Lorenzo the one and that is not big and we don't know? Are you sure there's something about and me? I
Yeah.
was carrying myself. I did not get paid, but there was rumor in
Mm.
school that I was given 10K then.
Mm-hmm.
So every other person that would call me for a show would not, want to give me 4K, 6K. I mean, when I talk about this money, that was a big deal then because I
Big deal.
remember
Yeah.
a show could be happening at the Princess Alexandra Auditorium, and the
Mm-hmm.
sound for the show is 4,000 naira, but I was paid 6,000 naira.
Oh. Whoa.
So you
Whoa.
can imagine that. So the
Mm-hmm.
budget for the MC and the sound, and I'm the one
Mm-hmm.
collecting the 6K. And 4,000 naira. I mean, that was crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
that was how I was getting money. I could, and then people were gifting me also. So the money didn't come from radio or from the job. In fact, I think a few months into this thing, I wasn't even getting a dime. I just, it was later. I said he's coming from town. He doesn't stay on campus
Mm.
anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So we should give him 1K every week. And you know, we started. So yes, it was crazy, but I mean, we had to do what we had to do. We
Yeah, I
started
just
flowing
wanted
from
to.
there.
Yeah, I just wanted us to dwell more on multi-talentedness and
Okay.
multi-talentedness, passion, and profit. So, you said something striking. There are a lot of people that are multi-talented, but they can't eat three square meal. So, I also
Mm,
feel like the link is understanding. Yeah, I am multi-talented. Then understanding that I have passion for this, and then asking myself, is it going to bring me profit? Because at the end of the day, I won't eat my passion. It's profit that can feed me. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
deep diving into this, Lorenzo. Yeah. So, as a
But
creative, go ahead. I'm
yes,
listening.
I
Mm,
like what where you're going, but
mm,
the point problem is, yes, I am passionate about this, and
yeah.
it's likely the one that will give me profit, right? It is
Mm-hmm,
the one that I'm sure can give me profit. But
mm-hmm,
can I even start it? Do I have the capital to start it? Is it something
mm,
I can do?
mm-hmm,
Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you
yeah.
know that's the one that will make you, I've always known that the movie industry is going to give me a lot of money. I'm going to
Yeah.
become a multimillionaire, but I couldn't do it then
Yeah.
because I mean it's not something I could cough out money to do. So I had to
Mm-hmm,
do the one that is even though it's less profitable, but it's going to make me
mm-hmm,
more popular, and then I'm going
mm-hmm,
to have access to me get into the movie industry.
mm, mm.
So that's
And at
that's
the
the
same
point.
time,
So
it was giving you like little money to live by.
yes, it was giving me little money, yeah, for just for food,
Mm.
and just basic money. Not like it was I couldn't buy a car, a used car stuff. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that's it. So you have to just be, like the Bible would say, you should make your vision plain. Sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
have to draw a full blown proposal or whatever it is that you can call it, a blueprint of what each of the things that you can do will take to take you there.
Mm.
It will cost to take you there. You have to look at it and then
Mm.
put the ones that you're not sure, you can't work with at that moment, you can't run with at that moment. Put them under your pillow, under your bed. Don't discard them. Keep them
Mm.
there. But then
Okay.
pick the ones that you know will take you there,
Mm-hmm.
but might not give you the whole, might be slower. And
Mm.
start moving with it. Just be moving bit by.
Mm. Yeah.
I've seen people that dreamed. It's easier if you have one talent and then you're just, this is the passion you
Make
have
it
and this is the
focus.
only
Yeah.
thing you want to do. You focus on it, you now start chasing it. You can, you would invest everything you have on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I found myself, even just last week, I I was just and some melody entered my head. I pulled over and then wrote some lyrics and continued. Now my
Mm-hmm.
mind told me, bro, you're going to go and record it. And money was there. I have money that will do that.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I remember that I just finished writing a book. My manuscript is ready and I'm
Mm-hmm.
supposed to publish. And I want, as much as I want to wait for a publisher. I don't mind self-publishing. I can use my money to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of things are coming into my head at the same time. And then I know that, yeah, that script I have, don't be make I shooter, you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with my money. So all of these things, in fact, each time I have some big money in my account enter like this,
Yeah. You're thinking of
all
projects.
the all the projects I have lined up will start, flashing in my
Yeah.
head.
The life of a creative. Yeah. Oh God.
And then I start thinking to myself,
Mm.
ha, God, let me not just waste this money. Which one
Very
am I
true.
sure
Yeah.
is a
Mm.
sure banker to give me
Mm.
back this money? That's how it is.
It's
You
true.
now go for it. So I know that my music, it's going to cost me a lot of money to invest in
Mm.
putting it on hold.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that my movies, I understand the market now.
Mm. Yeah.
I understand that if I invest 20 million naira in a film, I have to have the right conversations first before I invest that money.
Yeah.
you know, then I'll ask this distributor, where do you want to sell it? Is it going to be to Netflix, or is it going to go to cinema, or is it going
Mm-hmm.
to another VOD somewhere that's going to just buy it, or going to straight to television? Which one?
Mm-hmm.
Whichever one you arrive at, you now know how much you're going to put there. So you know that in 6 months you're getting back more money. So you just have a conversation. You know that it can never fail, no matter
Yeah.
what, except you don't shoot the movie
Mm-hmm.
or shoot it
Mm-hmm.
right. So you now invest there. and while it's coming out, you find yourself wanting to invest more because it's coming, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so if you have multiple talents, the best thing to do
It's
is to look
priority.
for, yes, prioritizing
Mm,
with wisdom,
mm.
not the one that you think is the one the world is waiting for. Sometimes you don't even do the one you're most talented in,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. True.
for
True.
instance, radio, I know I loved radio, I could do radio, and I will never leave radio. In fact, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to set up my own radio station, and I'll
Yeah.
still present. But I went to if I had money at the beginning to do my films or do my music, I'm not sure I'd be a radio presenter.
Mm.
But
Mm.
I would have been just like this guy that has a gig, or I
Mm-hmm.
present on radio once every 2 weeks or something like that.
Mm.
Not the radio boy that I became.
Mm-hmm.
So it was something I needed. In fact, it granted me access to everybody I needed in life,
Wow.
because I could walk into any office and say, "Sir, I want to talk to you. I'm a radio presenter." I met the CEO of a particular airline, and I walked
Mm.
up to him and said, "Hey, sir, my name is Lorenzo Menakaya, and I run the radio station. I
Mm-hmm.
run this particular radio station." And he was shocked, like, "This boy, you run a radio station? I like that." He
Mm.
held me by the hand. I said, "Let's go." We got on his private jet,
Mm.
So things like this happen all the time,
Yeah.
So we need to find ourselves in that position where we start prioritizing, make our lists, and decide. Since
Yeah.
I have all the things I can do, what about just facing this one first?
Mm.
While I'm doing my proposal.
Yeah.
In 2023, all those proposals and pitch decks, they are working big time. There are people that
Mm.
want to invest, and you need to learn how to convince them to invest in whatever dreams you have.
Yeah. True.
But while you're doing that, be doing other things
Mm.
to keep your body and soul together,
So
or else you get
together, very,
depressed.
very, because hunger is real, though.
Yes.
So let's just talk a little bit about your the projects you've done in, um, like in the UK, in the US.
Mhm.
What's up? Because I know you travel a lot, and it's one thing I would put out there is I would say very proud, because you do all these things and then you come back to Enugu. You do all these things and then you come back to Enugu. The other time I asked you, you were in Lagos, you were shooting, I guess,
Yeah.
but network was bad. The other time you were in the UK, Oxford, right? I think that was
Yeah.
before the Lagos project. Then the other time, I think you were in the US as well. So how has it been for you? Can you just share a little bit more light about those projects?
Well, the only things I've done in the US is just to help with a particular class.
Mm,
A friend of mine who lectures at Spelman College
yeah,
always want me to have a conversation with his class.
yeah.
He's a doctor of music, a
Mm,
PhD in music, and he's African music, and he's one of the most fantastic writers, proposal writers I've ever come across in my entire life.
mm.
And his proposals never get turned down. So I'm always, talking about this guy. So he invites classes to discuss with the students and to
Mm,
discuss Afrobeat and Afrobeats. There are two
okay.
different things.
Mm,
Yeah, Fela and what's the drummer name? This drummer. They created Afrobeat,
oh, okay.
and then but Afrobeats is what the the West is calling the style of music
Mm,
that we have coming from Nigeria now and
okay.
some parts of West Africa. But that's a
Mm,
corruption of the original name of Afrobeat. So it just like 2 years ago we started accepting it. Over time we've argued and said, please, can we change the name? If
mm,
you are doing something, if you're singing like an Omalay, it's
mm-hmm,
not Afrobeat. It's African R&B, rhythm and blues. If
mm-hmm,
you're singing like an Asha, it's soul music,
mm.
or Neka, it's soul music. They're not all should
Afro,
not all be
yeah,
categorized as Afrobeats
Afrobeat,
just
yeah.
because it's from Africa. But
Mm,
then we've accepted what the the American man has called, and we are
mm,
beginning to accept it. No problems. Okay, so
mm.
it's Afrobeats, no wahala. we'll take it like that. So yes, that's what I do. I just get to discuss with the students, and I've done that a few times. That's all for now. I'm hoping to have bigger connections with over there.
Yeah.
Then the UK, yes, I was invited to Sundance London
Okay.
as just as a pressman,
Okay.
and you know, I did. That's I think that was the first major event I went for in London in
Mm.
2022. And
Okay.
then I also was later went to the University of Oxford on the invitation of James Curry to
Okay.
have a conversation to there are many things to discuss about. Always, I'm always, in fact, always something to
Yeah.
discuss. But it started with the African Movie Academy Awards and the Lagos State government going to Oxford to discuss with Nigerian filmmakers in England
Mm-hmm.
and invite them back to Africa, back to Lagos,
Yeah.
especially Lagos, particularly to start to explore the opportunities that are there and start shooting there, making films in Lagos,
Mm.
and that it will be of global acclaim. So I happened to be the moderator. I was invited to moderate. So that's it. And
Mm.
I think that's pretty much all I've done. So I mean, I'm always yes traveling, trying to
Yeah.
learn more,
Mm.
and but basically I don't just travel for vacation. Each time I'm out there, I'm learning. I was at
Yeah.
MoFilm, the Unilever sponsored 30 Nigerians to Africa Academy,
Yeah.
or rather Academy for African Filmmakers, and I happened to be one of them. I didn't even know I
Mm.
was going to be one of them because I thought I was at
Yeah.
least, but I made it, and it was run by MoFilm UK.
Mm.
So a lot of great stuff has come my way. All of them are just so I can get to better myself.
Yeah.
When
So
you grow up in a particular environment, and that environment is the kind that it's one thing and one thing only, and that's most people that do that knows that if you have to be a good reader, you have to now if you
mm.
become a good reader, you're going to be a good writer. That's how we
Mm.
we have people like Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie
Mm.
and a bunch of others that are growing up from that same community. So yes, but it's different now. I'm
Yeah.
I'm
It
loving the
is.
fact.
It is. It is like what what's it called? When I reached out to you the other time, I think you were working on a project. So I wanted to know what project are you currently working on, or are you just relaxing because you are in Enugu right now, or what?
Okay, I'm I'm glad you're saying currently because all the projects I've been working on, I signed NDAs and I don't
Mm.
want trouble.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. That's okay. That's okay.
But I can tell you in authority that these are projects that are
When I
beyond. I
told,
was doing the last time you messaged me. That
yeah.
was um, me working on a project by Africa's finest actress.
Mm.
I'll leave it there.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I understand. I understand these things. I understand how it works. I just wanted to know, like, are you on the cruising mode now?
No, I'm
You're
not.
back
I'm not
in
cruising
Enugu.
anything. No.
Yeah.
I'm back in Enugu because I
Mm.
wanted to. I'm looking for. There's this kind of apartment I'm looking for that
Okay.
I can. I'm working two things at the same time.
Mm.
I'm wrecking for a movie that I'm starting to shoot. I'm producing, and it's going to be directed by Ibukan Joko. We also did the same thing for the film last year that went um to the cinemas and spent about 6 weeks, and uh, and then it's going to um, a streamer by
Yeah.
next month.
Okay.
So yeah, we did the same thing. So we're doing another one, and we're planning to shoot in 2 months. So I'm wrecking, looking for places where we can do what we're supposed to do, and also trying to finalize on the cast and the crew.
Okay.
It's a different kind of story. So yes, we are working hard on that. That's one, and we're filming in Enugu. So yes. Then secondly, I am also writing I'm writing, so I finished my first manuscript,
All right.
and I'm hoping to publish soon, like I mentioned.
Mm,
So I'm looking for a particular kind of apartment where
mm,
I'll have less generator noise
okay.
and around it, so I can have enough inspiration whenever I want to write.
Yeah, yeah, I
So, and
know.
I want to make it a permanent base
Mm,
for my for the east, and then
yeah.
so that when I'm there in the east, that's where I am.
Ah,
I can
yeah.
hide there and have peace of mind and
Mm.
work for as long as I want. So
When you
yes.
said that you were looking, my mind went to that you were looking for a wife. That's what came to my mind. I'm sorry.
Oh, do they look for wives like that? Oh
I,
wow. I mean,
I don't
if
I don't know. So that's for me is a very good cue to ask you. What am
maybe. Okay, ask your question though.
no, when am I coming to eat your jollof rice? Or you did it, I don't
But
know.
you're not. It's going to be Nigeria, so I mean, you're
I
not in
don't care.
Nigeria.
Have you sent me an invitation and I'm not around? I will come
Okay.
down.
Oh well. Okay, I heard you. Thank you.
What did you mean?
I don't know where do you guys find wives? All of you that got married, please. Where did you find your wife? Because
Lorenzo, stop. Why didn't this
I
thing? Come on.
I don't know where they keep wives. So I've been looking for. I've seen a lot of girls, but I haven't seen wife.
Mm.
Although I heard that the Bible says that I'm the one that'll make her a wife, right? But
Mm-hmm.
she has to look like it now first. Then I'll now come to.
Lorenzo, why do you like you sound? I know you have a very high taste. You are too meticulous.
Maladeo.
Yes, I know you. I
Why
know
do
you.
you
It
guys
has
think
to
that's
be.
the reason?
Yeah. It has to be a particular. I know if I don't write list, give God. Try.
Why is everyone saying that I wrote it? Like, it's that kind of thing I had is the quote. It's about the taste.
But it's true.
Maybe, maybe.
Maybe.
But I mean, I couldn't have gone living my life all these years
Mm,
having come across beauty
mm.
and the quality that has always come around me. And then I'll go for something not as good. Excuse me?
Lorenzo, you know how we talk, right? I need to see you face to face, right? And I'm coming to Nigeria in December, right? And God be with you that you are in Enugu.
I'll be in
Like
Canada. Thank you. I'll be in Canada then. So,
Jesus
in
Christ.
fact, I'll probably call Paul Kagame and move to his country. I'm sure that I was called. Someone told me that they're looking for talent, so I'll just go there and and
Oh
spend
my
some
God,
time.
they will deport you because of me.
Oh well, but I mean, this issue of marriage is not easy. Now, let me now talk like someone that is a Christian that's saying the truth.
Yeah.
It's not been easy for me particularly. I've made moves.
Mm,
I've tried. I don't carry wine. They waka
yeah.
for road. They
Are
on
you
my
serious?
way. We had to turn back and pour the wine away and go to home.
Oh
You know,
wow. Wow.
because
Wow. Are you telling me
yeah.
movie script or real life?
No, I'm telling you, real life. I've got to that point where I said, "This is it," and we agreed it's gonna be. But somewhere along the line, something came in
Hmm.
between us, and these are things that you face in this today's world where everybody's up in your business, you know,
Hmm.
and I've never wanted anyone to know about my private life. I try not to
Yeah.
let it out.
Yeah, I know. I know you're very, very
So
meticulous about like what you post out there. Like
so yeah,
work, 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 work.
but then it says it happened, but it's not like the public did anything to me,
Mm.
but you know when then that issue of taste actually has affected me a lot because um I know there is no perfect person, and we always
Yeah.
keep saying that people, you know, find those things that you can manage in a
Mm.
person, and then you can cope with, and then go ahead and marry the person. But hey, there is, ah, I
Lorenzo, you
can't
will be
say.
fine. You will be fine.
I will.
You will be fine. Anyway, I pray you are in nine. I don't know. You know you were. You're like
No,
Egbe.
I'll probably
You're
be around, but if
yeah.
not, anywhere I am, you fly. I'll pay for a flight to come.
Oh, that's so sweet. Any last words for young guys listening, most talented guys, a bit confused, you know? So,
Okay, multi-talented guys.
mm,
Let me tell you two things. First, you may have all the talent in the world, and like I said earlier, please, dear,
yeah.
just make a list. Find the one that you think you and your friend or you alone can
Mm-hmm.
just start doing, even if it's the one that's going to be paying on a daily basis, or
Mm-hmm.
even just start doing that one first. It's
Yeah.
going to give you when you succeed in those little ones, it gives you hope. It makes you understand that you can actually succeed when you start doing the big ones.
True.
So start,
True. True.
start with that,
Mm,
and then again, multi-talented people.
mm.
Sometimes you are multi-talented and you don't think there's any. You can start little. You can start small.
Yeah. It happens.
You can actually step away from all the talents that you have
Mm-hmm.
and start doing the one that probably is not your passion,
Mm-hmm.
just for the sake of, my friends would say, why am I encouraging them to do a 9 to 5? The
Mm.
reason I don't encourage most people, especially creatives, to do 9 to 5 is because sometimes they get there and they start enjoying the money and forget that they have a purpose to fulfill,
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it's getting frustrating and you think you can not do with this, just promise yourself that you are giving yourself 3 years to do this one,
Mm-hmm.
and then step out,
Yeah.
L- work for somebody, or even look for people that are doing the same thing
Mm-hmm.
that you want to do and
Mm-hmm.
volunteer for them.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be making the whole money in the world, but I promise you, you are going to be excited because you are getting better at that thing and you're meeting the people that are going to help you do
True.
that thing. So step out always.
True.
Volunteerism is one thing we never talk about enough,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
it's important. So let's
Yeah.
always do that. The first time I won an award, okay, the first time I was nominated for the Future Awards.
Yeah.
I was nominated for the Future Awards twice, and the
Okay.
first time I I wanted to work as a volunteer at the show.
Yeah.
And they told me, oh no, come on now. I was like, I don't care. I want to do the job because
Mm.
I mean I haven't seen this kind of show before.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm a nominee, Wahala, and I'm supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
given all the VIP treatment, but I want to work with you guys. I want
Mm.
to serve, you know. And I was given the little opportunity that I had, and I did one or two things before, you know, now returning to my VIP spot,
Mm.
that sort of thing. And the truth is, that gave me a lot of leverage.
Yeah. Yeah.
It opened doors that I never thought
Yeah.
I could open a normal day.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I became friends with the founders of the award and started talking on personal basis. So
Yeah.
yes, just always step out, do your thing, volunteer, talk to people, make them feel big, good, and tell them that you've always looked up to them. You're my role model. You're my this. Just talk. You
Yeah.
know, that person might
True.
just sign you a check that will answer the questions you've been asking.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir,
Thank you.
for having
Your
me.
time means a lot to me, like the good old days, you know what I mean? Thank you. So how can we get to you? Socials, emails?
I'm Lorenzo Menakaya everywhere.
Okay.
Same name, Lorenzo Menakaya, on
Yeah.
social, on all my across platforms:
Mm,
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
mm,
YouTube, TikTok.
mm.
Yes.
Everywhere.
So
Everywhere means everywhere.
everywhere. And I answer my DMs personally.
Okay.
I've ensured all my handlers are gone
Okay.
because I mean, So yeah, I respond personally. I don't. I mean, I love my social media. I don't
Okay.
post a lot, but I want
Mm.
to
Connect.
always interact
Yeah.
and connect. Yes.
All
Thank
right,
you,
guys.
sir, for having me.
Thank you. You've heard it. You can connect with him on socials. He answers directly by himself. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to my very good friend. If you see the way we vibe, we have friends. Like he's like an elder brother to me. Lorenzo, thank you so much. I pray I
Uh,
see you in December. That is if you're not in Canada.
mm.
Wherever
Where what country are you now? Let me know
I,
if I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm in England. I live in
Okay.
Preston. Yeah. So
Oh, you
listen,
do.
yeah, I'm a support worker, but focused on complex care, recovery, mental health, and mental health. And then
Oh,
I do entertainment of all my podcasting, event hosting, of course, all the things that you've taught me, you know. So
oh, please.
yeah, that's what I do.
Thank
And
you
then,
for giving me so much credit.
yeah. All right, guys. See you next Friday.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Wow, thank you so much, guys, for being with me till the end of this particular episode, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you next Friday. Keep being inspired. Bye.
The young man with dreams.